Hey y'all, I'm Agent of Mischief, and welcome back to another session of Lovingly Evil, the Big Bad Dating Sim. Today we're going to be finishing up the Evil Stepmother's route. Alright, let's just get into it now. So, we are at the point where two different routes are about to diverge here. So, let us begin. Yeah, I think it's this one. Third day of the conference begins. The reception hall seems to be empty. Alright, yes. Hello. Oh, I got texts. Is it? No, it's not from her. I don't care then. Good morning, Lady Maysard. Good morning. You waste no time coming to waste my time every day. Kelly Calamity? Okay. Did you eat at the breakfast buffet? Buffet? Surely you're joking. No, it's been great. I especially like the... What was in the muffins? Regular muffin stuff. Sugar. Oh, there are pieces of apple in the batter. She nods approvingly. I see. They got one thing right. I've got to say, the naming conventions could use some subtlety. Maybe I'll leave a note about it in my annual list of complaints. You're right, but the food does taste great. As for my breakfast, I eat it in my room. I would never wake... Oh. As for my breakfast, I eat it in my room. I would never wake up at 7:30 just to weave through the crowds and stand in the soup line like a baker. What do you eat for breakfast then? I bet the room service menu is fancy. Well, what do you think my fancy breakfast would be? I don't know, champagne with caviar in it? What do royals eat? She chuckles. I'll leave it up to your imagination. Wait, is it actually caviar champagne? I do hope you're not being serious right now. You said you have an annual list of complaints. What kinds of things do you usually complain about, Lady Maysard? What are you saying? Do you not see the state this place is in? She gestures at the room. You look around. It looks stylish and clean to you. Right, it's unacceptable the way they've decorated the room.
I suppose.
Well, I suppose you're right. The way that a monkey taking a multiple choice quiz will sometimes pick the correct answer. So what do you have on the list? Oh, it's a long list. Take these wine glasses. You look at your glass, you squint. Lady Maysard sighs. It's obvious that they've been used many times before. Look at all the scratches on them. Squinting harder, you can make out a few hair-thin marks on the foot of the glass. You're not sure if it's possible to transport drinking glasses out of a factory without getting this amount of wear and tear on them. I see, you've got an impeccable eye, Lady Maysard. I wouldn't say that. It's the kind of thinking that lets people off the hook for ignoring the small details. And that's why I send my complaints every year. The organizers should thank me for keeping them from getting complacent, really. Doesn't it bother you that your stepdaughter is next in line to inherit the kingdom? Bother me? It makes me furious. I've gone to so much trouble to get Lusitania to the state it's in today. Could you imagine what she'd do if she got her pretty little hands on it? So far, I've managed to keep her away from matters of the kingdom. She's not had any education on ruling, so she'd find it hard to meddle even if she started bothering me about it. But eventually, I'll have to make some decisions about how to continue excluding her. Sending her to live in the forest didn't work after all. When you exile her for some made-up reason or another, then she wouldn't have any standing anymore. You wouldn't have to really hurt her either if you want to keep your promise about that. That's a very liberal reading of what my husband wanted.
I suppose.
but I suppose it isn't an altogether bad idea. I shall certainly consider it. You've had such a formidable career as a villain. Is there anything you'd have done differently based on what you know now? Is there anything I'd do differently? I think you know by now, Kelly Calamity. I don't regret the fling I had with my husband, but career-wise, I should never have gone for it. Because of the way it ended, I've spent almost 2 decades in this limbo, stuck raising a child I don't get along with, unable to finally cut off my past. With my abilities and passion, I should have been on my 6th or 7th kingdom by now. I'm unparalleled, of course, but I know how much more I could have done by now, had I not ended up with this curse of a parting gift right when my career should have taken off. You see how frustrating that is? I understand how you feel. Oh, do you? I mean, I felt that way about my career sometimes. I'm 37 and this is my first villain conference. Well, that's too bad for you. She takes a sip of wine. I didn't tell you this information so we could bond over it, though. It's a cautionary tale, Kelly Calamity. If you want to learn from me, you should watch that you don't fall into the same trap. Have you dated anyone since your husband's death? I'd ask why you want this information, but if I did, I may have to execute you. So I'll let it slide. It's not the priority. I've already tried the love thing once. And right now I have a nation to oppress. And who would I date? I haven't come across anyone worth my time. I do get a lot of suitors. I don't know about vetting, but I suppose I wouldn't mind having someone else handle their executions from time to time. I haven't had a henchman since the last one got into a nasty accident. Are you interested in the position? I see. I will review your application and inform you of my decision at a later date. How would you like to compliment Lady Maysard? You've ruled with such an iron fist, Lady Maysard. One can't help but look up to you. Yes, I agree. And I just wanted to tell you that. Well, you've wasted both of our time. I was already well aware. I've really enjoyed talking to you, Lady Maysard. You're so witty and knowledgeable. It doesn't mean much coming from someone of your stature, but thank you. That's pretty rude. Yes, it's the truth. Be hearing it makes you feel bad. Ignorance is bliss, smart people get depressed, and so forth. That all doesn't apply to me, of course, because in addition to being intelligent, I'm rich, powerful, and evil. How would you like to compliment her? I've got to say, Lady Maysard, your fashion sense is impeccable. Yes, the same can't be said for you. I guess so. Where'd you get your gown? It was designed for me, of course. All of my clothes are one of a kind. No one who produces fashion for me is allowed to sell these designs to the riffraff on the streets. Your beauty is unparalleled. Your beauty is unparalleled, Lady Maysard. Oh, stop. And I mean it. I hate listening to people insincerely compliment my looks. I learned that very early on. But I really think so. Do you now? Listen, you don't want to suck up to me. I dislike it, and you'll get nothing out of it. So since you're a queen with a stepdaughter in line to inherit the kingdom, do you have a lot of princes to worry about? Princes? Not as many lately, but yes, we get quite a few of them. How do you deal with a prince who's after a princess? Legend has it they're pretty persistent. Tell me about it. I used to give them quests, since there was a lot of profit to be made by collecting the treasures, but they kept succeeding at the damn things at too high a rate. So I stopped the quest business and started just throwing them in the dungeon. Hasn't your stepdaughter objected to the treatment? Amazingly, no. This seems to be the one thing we see eye to eye on. I'm surprised, it doesn't seem like her. She says she's not interested in political marriages and only wants to date people she's interested in romantically. And that's not princes who only come to ask for her hand. It's a bunch of nonsense, of course. Political marriages are much preferred if you ask me. But if it keeps her from complaining, I'll take it. Lately, we're getting a lot of princesses too, by the way. Oh, that's great. I'm all for treating all of your subjects equally badly. Sure, of course, but they're a real nuisance to me. You'd think a woman would know not to view another woman as a bounty, but apparently that's not the case. Be that as it may, throwing everyone in the dungeon has helped to lessen the influx of suitors. The bribes their countries pay to have them released are a good source of cash flow. Let us save. We'll save here. We'll save here. Goodbye. Walking through the convention center, you spy Lady Maysard's stepdaughter lurking between the stalls. How did she get here? In any case, this might be a chance to score some points with her mother. Hey, you there. Eek! She turns around looking startled and slightly guilty. Oh, do excuse my exclamation. You're Callie Calamity, aren't you? It's a pleasure to see you again. Why are you still here? I thought I heard Lady Maysard telling you to go home. Hush! I have to stay hidden from her, or she'll throw me out again. She looks around warily. Tell me, do you know my mother well? I'm taking this chance to get to know her. Hopefully we can stay in touch after the conference, too. Then I wish you the best of luck. Tell me, do you know what she's trying to accomplish at the conference? I just want to be of use to her, but I can't do that if I don't know what she's trying to do. I wouldn't want to betray Lady Maysard's trust. Sorry. It's not betrayal if you're helping me help her. Please, Callie Calamity. She gives you a sickly sweet smile and her eyelashes flutter. I'm sure she would have told you if you needed to know. I would respect her wishes out of concern for my own safety, if nothing else. Oh. Her head turns in the direction of the VIP lounge. I see. It can't be helped then. Rose curtsies. It was so nice to meet you again, Callie Calamity. Please don't tell my mother you saw me here. You're not about to give a straight answer, so you give her something between a nod and a bow. To tell or not to tell, you feel like you may get juicier information on Rose if you leave her be for a while longer, but it's undoubtedly risky. You don't see anyone interesting in the hall, so you walk around for a while before you decide to go somewhere else. As you walk towards the VIP area, you notice a person whose appearance screams mad scientist lording around the door and peering at the VIP lounge. Excuse me, coming through. What? I need to get into the VIP lounge. Unacceptable. If I, the esteemed Dr. Leon E. Everscup, can't get in, why should a total noob like you? Sounds like a you problem. I won't let you through. If you try, I'll unleash my super special secret move. Try me. Prepare for battle of wits.
Eureka!
Oh, fuck, it's the other way around. Duh.
Eureka!
Does he only have logic cards? Jesus.
Oops.
Haha.
Oh. Oops.
I'm probably gonna have to redo this, huh?
Oops. Oops.
Or maybe not.
Yes. Oh. Hmm? Oh. Hmm? Eureka!
Damn.
Oh. Eureka! Yes. Hmm? Oh.
Alright.
Oh.
Booyah. Fuck you.
Ah, I can't believe this. A genius inventor such as me beaten by a scrub like you.
You walk past the defeated doctor and enter the VIP lounge. Hello. I saw your stepdaughter walking around the convention just now. What? She was lurking around the stalls. I thought you'd want to know. What on earth is that girl doing here? She said she wanted to help you, so she's here in secret. Lady Maysart stands up. Now she's done it. She walks toward the hall, slow and menacing like a thundercloud. It takes Lady Maysart no time at all to find Rose. It's as if she knew where she was headed the moment she stood up. Rose Harmony Maysart! Eek! Rose turns to you and her eyes turn cold. Look at me when I'm talking to you, young lady. I've told you several times you're not to attend this conference. Do you recall? Yes, Mother, but... No buts. I hear you wanted to help me. Shall I tell you how to do that? Stay home like I told you to. Lady Maysart grabs Rose's arm and starts walking her towards the exit. It's a confident grip, and it seems all Rose can do is walk along so that she doesn't get dragged. But Mother, there's nothing for me to do at home. Nothing's the best thing you could hope to do for me, my dear. You awkwardly walk all the way to the exit behind them. If you weren't a big bad villain who's not affected by such things, you may have felt like a child who tattled on a playmate and now has to watch them be scolded. Lady Maysart gives Rose some final pieces of her mind and then sends her to the portal, watching to make sure that she goes through. Well, I have to say that was refreshing. Really? It seemed like you were furious. Oh yes, I haven't had a chance to get so angry with that girl in quite a while. It's incredibly rejuvenating when she does something wrong, and I can actually vent my anger at the right target. Let me offer you a drink, Kelly Calamity. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. Hello. Do you have any hobbies? Badness, no. I don't spend my time on idle nonsense like puzzles or crocheting. But if you're asking me what I do in my free time, I suppose I can answer. I shop regularly. It's important to keep my style up to date after all. I also spend time taking care of my health and my complexion. You work out? Well, I can swing a sword. I like to keep my skills sharp. If you call that working out, then yes. Aside from that, I get massages and treatment for my skin to keep it young. I'm not touchy about my age, but I'll keep my looks as long as I can, thank you very much. So what is the secret of your youthfulness? I'd love to try it. Lady Maysard smiles, raising her eyebrows. You won't get it out of me that easily. Try again when you can give something in return. So you spend your time shopping and getting skin treatments. Is there something wrong with that? Don't answer, you could get yourself killed. Well, I do enjoy reading quite a bit. Really? You picture Lady Maysard curled up with a good book and a cup of cocoa, little reading glasses on her nose. It's a cute image? So what genres do you like? What do you think I would like? Is it mystery books? I bet you can solve the crime before the truth is revealed. Thank you for the compliment, but most mystery books nowadays are written so you can't definitively figure it out, you know? I've read some mystery books, but that's not my wheelhouse, no. You're supposed to root for the detective instead of the criminal, for one. The bulk of what I read is non-fiction. You need to know how things work in order to have an iron grip on them. Right now, I'm reading up on environmentally friendly mining practices. Know thy enemy, as they say. You said you mostly read non-fiction, but that means there's some fiction in there. Fess up. You do like poking the hornet's nest, don't you? I thought it was a pretty innocent question, but Lady Maysard seems genuinely annoyed. What I read for fun is no one's business but my own. It's one of the few things I'm able to keep private, being such a prominent figure. If I want to start a book club, I'll be the one calling the shots. Until then, stop digging. Goodbye. And what is your opinion on literature? Do you even know how to read? Haha. Of course I know how to read. I love books as long as there's enough action in the story. Battles, chases, and betrayals. I should have known. Perhaps there is not enough action in your own life. I can't believe the kind of rags people wear to this event. Do they believe everyone here else to be blind? You're into fashion, aren't you? Who's your favorite designer? Demi Hydrostin. The one who uses snakeskin or snake motifs in all her designs? They are really impressive and absolutely your style. I'm astonished you know of her. Perhaps you are not as tasteless as I originally thought. Let's see about going to lunch. It's lunchtime. Ah, she's not there. Lunch cafe, the solitude is very peaceful. You're surprised Lady Maysard is nowhere to be seen. Maybe you can find her somewhere else.
How can I help you?
Ah, okay, maybe she's... Oh, is she here? Talk about life at a beginning start. You see Lady Maysard sitting in one of the chairs. The seats next to her are suspiciously empty. Oh, it's you. Come here, the talk is starting. You hesitate a bit before sitting next to Lady Maysard. Okay, so we will watch these with her. Alright, let us save. The convention center is about to close for the day, but the night is young. Time to head to the nightclub. Lady Maysard is sitting in the back of the room, guards around her table. You could swear she almost gives you a smile as you approach. As you make to sit across from her, she instead beckons you over to her side of the table. It's too loud here. I'm tired of straining my ears to hear people's mumbling. Come sit with me. She gestures to the empty half of the sofa she's sitting on. It feels intimate. You're not sure how to approach the situation. Make sure not to breach Lady Maysard's personal bubble and sit down on the far end of the sofa. Maybe you're being a little bit too cautious. She chuckles to herself, shaking her head. So timid! I'll buy you a drink, Kelly Calamity. Watching your cheap choices makes my wine taste bad by association. Thank you, Lady Maysard. What would you like to get? She hands you the menu. We're getting the most expensive thing. Go big or go home. You pick the expensive drink Lady Maysard was recommending earlier. An amused smile spreads across her face. Weren't you allergic to tomatoes? Oh, did I say tomatoes? I meant spending thousands on a drink. She chuckles. Well, I have no such allergy. You can enjoy the fruits of my subject's labor this once. I'm familiar with clubs like this, but what's the nightlife like in Lusitania? I'm told it's a lot of bards and bar fights, although I do make an effort to keep it in check. All kinds of funny ideas spread in hushed conversations at night. You're told? What, do you expect I would go out and mingle with peasants? Well, I guess not, that makes sense. But does that mean you don't go out at all? Of course it doesn't. Nobles and royals hold parties all the time, and I'm not exactly a rare guest to the people who are useful to me. But what would you call a royal ball nightlife? No, you're right again, Lady Maysard. Damn right I am. Do you feel tired at all after 3 long days at the conference? Not really. What I do at the villain conference is very similar to my usual work. What do you say? Are you tired already? Not really. It's just something that people usually find tiring, isn't it? I suppose so, though I've never seen why. Aside from the fact that I have supreme power, so I can relax in all of my interactions while everyone who talks to me must watch every word they say. She smiles sweetly. You're expecting for Lady Maysard to tell you to leave eventually, but you're surprised. She lets you keep her company for the rest of the evening. Or to the convention bands. Alright. Hello. So about Rose. What is it this time? You talk an awful lot about her. I'm getting bored of it. I really think you should banish her from the kingdom. I'm sure I've told you why I haven't done that. Yes, but I still think you should do it. Well, go ahead then. Reveal to me the brilliant reasoning behind your opinion. I win. Well done, Kelly Calamity. You could have sworn there was a shadow over her face there at the end, but when you stop to look, there's no trace of it. She clapped sarcastically. You've argued for your point very convincingly. I've seen you given this issue some thought. Truth be told, so have I, and I arrived at the same conclusion. That girl has given me nothing but grief over the years. And you know I'm a hedonist, at least when it comes to my own pleasure. By coming to this conference against my orders, she sealed her fate. As for treating her like my own, well, I think I've kept her around for far too long. I'm inclined to subscribe to the school of thought that the child will learn to swim if you throw them in the water enough times. I'm sure that, at her age, she doesn't need a life jacket. Her smile is ferocious. I'll do it once the conference is over. Would you like to come and watch? Do you have any other exes, aside from your husband, I mean? If I did, they would be in the ground, trust me. Oh, what am I saying? You should never trust me. I wouldn't dream of it, my lady. You're amazed to find yourself sharing a smile with her. But no, I was but a young noblewoman looking for my first kingdom to usurp when I met my husband. It was love at first sight. I was disgusted with myself, but being with him made me so happy that I was content pulling the strings in the shadows instead of taking the throne. How about you, Kelly Calamity? I assume you're a veritable Don Juan. I've had a few relationships, nothing too serious. I like to take it easy. I see. I envy your record. That would have been me too, had my life gone the way I planned. It's not too late for it to be that way now, right? So nosy. Of course it's not too late. But I'm not young and green anymore. I have to consider my image. Queen cannot date lightheartedly. I can't imagine the flood of upstart suitors I'd get if I let people think they had a chance with me. Last day. You won't believe what I just heard. The reason Contessa von Exxon is not attending this year is that she ran away with some hero. She always seems so cultured, but werewolves just can't help themselves. When Master calls to heal, the dog must obey. What would it take to make you heal? Nothing in the world. But if we were talking about an equal partnership, I would require for the other person to be formidable and confident. As much as I enjoy being fawned over, I would never respect someone servile. Goodbye. Hello. Bye. There. Can't do lunch. New to talk to. Nothing new to talk about. Alright, did that. How about now? Where to be seen? Oh, she must be here. Then we started on one of the chairs. Chairs next to her suspicious lady. Oh, it's you. Political correctness can be a strong tool. You ought to learn more about it. You hesitate a bit before sitting next to Lady Maysard. So please forgive me, this is very intrusive, if this is too intrusive of a question, Lady Maysard, but the eye patch, she has a cordial smile on your face. You can never know for sure whether that's genuine, but you decide to push on. Well, I guess you got asked about it a lot, huh? She chuckles. No, I really don't. Most people are smart enough not to. Well, don't worry. I'm amused by your foolhardiness for now. Being a queen is dangerous, as I'm sure you know. It's not just once or twice that my life has been threatened by assassins. I've always been cautious, but I wasn't always a good sword fighter. The scar on my cheek is from that period of time. After the first few attempts on my life, I've started learning martial arts. And well, let's just say there was an unfortunate accident during training. Did the teacher really poke you in the eye? Unbelievable. Something like that, yes. In any case, all parties involved were punished accordingly. The students will never be injured under their tutelage again, that's for sure. Even if it is because they can never tutor anyone anymore. I'm sorry about your eye. Feeling sorry about it doesn't change anything. I've come to terms with it. Besides, it makes me much more intimidating, doesn't it? A lot has A lot has happened, but have you enjoyed the conference? I suppose I've seen worse years. I've certainly had worse company. She gives you a wry smile that makes you blush and waits for you to reply. She's definitely making you squirm on purpose. Me too. Well, not really, because I haven't been here before, but you could say my years before meeting you were worse. No, what I'm trying to say is, I'm glad to have met you. This year sure has set a high bar for future villain conferences. Oh, I'm sure. I think it's something like 0.00006% of annual villain con attendees that have chosen to exchange more than 2 words with. You've gotten quite lucky indeed. Goodbye. Let's see, is she at lunch? Probably not. Lunch's cafe at Solitude is very peaceful. Probably. Conference is over and you eagerly accepted Lady Maysard's invitation to watch Rose be banished. She set things in motion at the speed of someone who's been waiting for this moment for over a decade. The ceremony is ready to begin as soon as you get through the portal. There's a balcony for her to stand on, and on the courtyard below, Rose is being held in chains, a carriage with a metal cage as its body is waiting for her. Lady Maysard puts a hand on your back and steps on the balcony with you. People of Lusitania, her voice booms and carries. A traitor has lived among us and taken advantage of the kingdom's good graces. Rose Harmony Maysard has feigned innocence for all these years, but we can see through her deceit now. She has not been upholding the legacy of her father, no. She has been selling her country, the country of her late father, to foreign spies.
That's not true. It's all lies.
Watch her try to plead. We know better. Rose directs her furious gaze at you.
Callie Calamity, you backstabber!
Take her away.
You will regret this, Mother.
I hate you!
Lady Maysard smiles. Oh, what a coincidence! I hate you too. The guards start dragging Rose away. Lady Maysard turns to you. Now that that's over with, we can have some real one-on-one time. Oh, I like the sound of that. Does it include a romantic candlelit dinner? Is that what you want? It could be arranged. You blush. You didn't expect her to say that. I mean, although what I had in mind was something more like this. She puts her hand on your cheek. The tips of her fingers reach the back of your head, holding you in place. I dare you to kiss me, my queen. She closes the distance between you and gives you a deep kiss. Not sure how long it lasts. There's no space for conscious thought or breathing. Later, you'll think about how this is seen by Rose and everyone else in the courtyard, but in the moment, all that fits into your head is her.
Call me Imperia.
Yes, she laughs. Her villainous laugh is so hot. That is also acceptable. With Rose banished, Imperia seems to finally be able to relax in her kingdom. And so can you. You've been given a room in the castle, so you can stay there whenever you want. You spend a lot of time in Lusitania, although the room sits unused. You and Imperia talk about ruling the kingdom and evil plots, and of course making plans for future conquests. But for now, you're content to spend time getting to know each other and enjoy the kingdom in peace. Well, as much peace as a kingdom ruled by Imperia Maysard can get. Alright. Okay, let's get to ending 2. Let's save over that. Alright, let's go see Rose. I'm taking this chance to get to know her. Hopefully we can stay in touch at their conference too.
Then I wish you the best of luck. Tell me, do you know what she's trying to accomplish at the conference? I just want to be of use to her, but I can't do that if I don't know what she's trying to do.
She said she's networking.
But she's been in the VIP lounge the whole time.
Oh, she doesn't need to get to know people as long as people get to know her. It's the basics of PR, you know. You're not sure if that's true about PR, but you thought it would sound impressive.
PR, I see. Thank you so much for telling me.
Rose curtsies.
It was so nice to meet you again, Callie Calamity. Please don't tell my mother you saw me here.
You're not about to give a straight answer, so you give something between a nod and a bow. Tell her not to tell. feel like you may get some juicier information out of Rose if you leave her be for a bit longer, but it's undoubtedly risky. I didn't see anything more interesting in the hall, so you walk around for a little while before you decide to go somewhere else. Okay, so this time we cannot snitch on her. Hang on, I'm gonna turn off the card game for now. This little asshole again. Dr. Everscum has many surprisingly logical arguments, and wants weird that someone who's visiting the area for the first time shouldn't be allowed to get into the VIP area. You somehow managed to brush off his arguments. I can't believe this! A genius inventor such as me beaten by a scrub like you! You walk past the defeated doctor and enter the VIP lounge. Hello. We don't tell her that we met her. Goodbye. We did the same conference already. Kind of ranks. Hello. Hobbies. I like to keep natural myself. Oh, honey, it shows. So you spend your time shopping and getting skin treatments. Is it like memoirs of past rulers or something? Educational stuff? Close, but no cigar. The bulk of what I read is non-fiction. You need to know how things work in order to have an iron grip on them. Non-fiction. Goodbye. Literature. We'll say nonfiction this time. I like to read nonfiction myself. Did you just say that because it's what I read? No! I genuinely enjoy it. I find that difficult to believe. I shall interrogate you on the subject at a later date. Alone, so peaceful. Nothing to talk about except for the forbidden choice, as we will call it. Oh duh, she's at those conferences, never mind. Is she back now?
How can I help you?
Skellington Man, you can't help me right now. Empty. Alright. Nightclub time. Alright, let's sit. Let's lean in. Go big or go home. You plop down on the armrest right next to Lady Maysard, leaving half of the sofa empty. She chuckles. You're playing with fire, Greenhorn. You're welcome to do so, but don't blame me if you get burned. Burned by you, my queen? It would be an honor. Ha! Let's get... I wonder if you're going too expensive, but Lady Maysard doesn't bat an eye. It's been a while since I had a wine from Graveyard Vineyard. Maybe I'll have a bottle myself. Oh, we can share. I don't need the whole bottle. You don't? It's adorable, but I will certainly have one. And I can help you finish yours if you can't manage it. Walking to the conference center, you spot Rose Maysard lurking around again. She's still here? What's a goody two-shoes like her doing at a villain conference for so long? In any case, this is your chance to get some primo information out of her. We meet again.
Oh, I guess we do.
I see you haven't returned to your princessly duties of needlework and talking to birds. What's up? Her eyes start over the hall.
Okay, listen, I'll tell you. Let's do it somewhere quieter.
The two of you walk over to some benches that are conveniently located in a dark corner. Naturally, the villain conference has no shortage of spots like this. It'd be glaring oversight on the part of the organizers if there wasn't an ample supply of sinister deal spots to serve the conference goers' needs.
So, Callie Calamity, your job title is demigod, right?
Right?
And this is a conference for villains.
Yes.
Not eradicating villainy.
Correct. You didn't think it'd be you who broke the news to Lady Maysard's stepdaughter. You braced yourself for her reaction.
So, okay, I get why you're here. I get why I'm here. But why is Mother here?
Networking?
But it doesn't make sense. I'm a villain, but my mother isn't. I get why she wants me to stay away. I think she's onto me. But why is she here? Is she trying to infiltrate the villain community and destroy it from the inside? I don't get it. Sure, she's the queen, but there are a lot of people here, like a lot.
Discreetly pick up your jaw from the floor. She what? You haven't found a scoop this juicy since that one time you placed evidence of money laundering when you had to write an article for the school newspaper.
Callie Calamity?
She looks at you quizzically.
What's wrong? You're not also a goodie in disguise, are you?
What? No, I'm offended you would think that. It's just... Your stepmother's a villain, like, for sure, for sure.
You're joking. She's not that good of an actress, is she? I've always been able to tell she despises me, even though she tries to hide it. I'm sure she didn't want to raise the daughter of an evil witch, but she still fed me and clothed me and gave me shelter.
Okay? You imagine the conversation you'd need to have in order to convince Rose of this, and your motivation shrinks. I really think you should talk to your stepmother about this. It would solve a lot of problems for the both of you.
What, so she can throw me in the dungeon? No way!
Rose crosses her arms and purses her lips. You get the feeling you'd have to physically drag her to the VIP lounge to get her to talk to Lady Maysard. I'm having a lot of trouble believing you're a villain. The princess with the songbirds flocking around her?
Oh, that! I control them with magic, silly. It's a pretty common power for princesses to have. Didn't you know?
I guess in the media it's portrayed as a benefit of inherent goodness rather than royal blood. The more you know, huh? If you're a villain, how does Lady Maysard, who've raised you, not know about it?
I've been hiding it, obviously. Even on his deathbed, my father kept singing the praises of my stepmother's purity and virtuousness. I couldn't very well march up to someone like that and declare I'm going to be a villain when I grow up. I guess I sort of naturally have a knack for seeming like a good girl, but I'm not. And well, I'm only starting out anyway. It's been really hard to get into the business with her watching me like a hawk.
How come you didn't know what the villain conference is about?
Oh, Mother keeps me on such a tight leash. I guess she doesn't want a girl she suspects of villainy to take the throne. But it's meant that I rarely have any contact with the outside world. Well, she did send me to the forest once. I thought it was my chance to do some sightseeing and light arson, but she caught me the moment I emerged from the tree line.
Still, how did you arrive at the conclusion that an event called Villain Conference is anti-villain?
Come on, if you heard someone talking about a cattle disease conference, you wouldn't think they were pro-cattle disease, would you?
Isn't Cattle Disease Con a sister event of the Villain Conference? Rose glares. No, you're right, I get it. Well, thanks for talking to me again.
You can thank me by keeping quiet about what I told you. I can cast curses, okay?
I met Rose at the conference today.
What?
Fury Maysard turns her head towards the door of the VIP lounge, furious like she's ready to get up and walk away right this minute. Wait! She turns her eyes back to you and you get chills. I have some information you'll want to know before you talk to her. She's here against my direct orders. I don't need any more information than that. I really think you do. Do you now? Go on, convince me if you can. Lady Maysard is a very tough opponent, but you manage to explain to her that you have something important to say. Fine. This had better be good. I promise. Dangers of giving the Queen such big news dawn on you now, but there's no off-ramp to this conversation anymore. I talked to her and she said that she's a villain. You look Lady Maysard in the eyes, like looking down the barrel of a gun pointed at you. She's a villain and she's been hiding it from you. You swallow, this could be it for you. I see. Lady Maysard doesn't take a beat. She's immediately processing the information, but you can't read her reaction at all. Bring her to me. It's an order, not a request. Her authority has you standing up from your chair before you even made a conscious decision to do as she says. You're going to do as she says, of course. You talk to Rose over in the corner of the hall, but she's not at the benches anymore. She's not at the benches anymore, but you spot her talking to a vendor nearby. Rose, I need you to come with me.
What? You're not taking me to Mother, are you?
No, I promise.
Really?
She narrows her eyes at you suspiciously, but you know how to use the gravity of the moment to seem sincere.
Okay.
You take her hand and start leading her towards the VIP lounge. As you get closer, she starts pulling back. She's not here, I just checked.
Are you really sure?
As you get her through the door, she sees Lady Maysard. Rose makes a move as if to bolt, but stops before you can even react. Her stepmother has seen her too.
Is that all your promises are worth, Calamity?
She speaks without looking at you, her eyes locked on the Queen. I mean, I'm a villain, remember? I think you two should talk. She pulls her hand out of your grip, and without averting her gaze, walks towards Lady Maysard. You follow her, and the two of you sit down. You're just a villainous bystander, but the sense of overwhelming authority emanating from Lady Maysard makes you sweat. You do your best to shake off the feeling that you're about to get a scolding. Tell me, Rose, what do you think of me? You could cut the air with a knife.
I think that you take very good care of me, Mother. I'm very thankful for everything you've done for me over the years.
Let me rephrase my question. How do you feel about me, darling?
I feel grateful. You took me in even though we share no blood, and I've never wanted for anything in your care.
I kept you from learning about governance, stopped your attempts to study sword fighting and archery, and never allowed you out of the castle, no matter how you pleaded. How could a child feel such limitations?
I wanted those things, yes, and I know I tried to childishly rebel, but I understand that you did it for my sake, Mother, and I shouldn't complain.
I braided your hair so tightly you'd cry out, hid your dresses so you'd never get to go to a party without strife, and chided you for your mistakes without ever complimenting you on anything you did right. For what reason do you think a mother would do all that?
I know you had your reasons, Mother. I wouldn't...
You have a brain, don't you, girl? Put that information in there and use it to make a judgment. Rose is sweating and wringing her hands. She takes a deep breath, holds it, and then lets it out like she's trying to let go of hope.
I know it's because I'm evil, okay? But I'm not trying to make any trouble. Don't bite the hand that feeds you and all that. I don't hate you or anything, Mother. Please spare me for the sake of my father. If you let me go, I'll be on my merry way and won't bother you or the good people of Lusitania ever again, I swear.
Hold, Rose. Why would I punish you for being evil? Rose looks like she was about to cry, but at that she tilts her head and frowns.
Because you're good?
You could swear Lady Maysard's eyebrows rise 2 inches. She looks at Rose and at you. Wait, did I not mention that? I thought You're cut off by an unfamiliar laugh. It's Lady Maysard. She's cackling. Rose looks even more afraid than before. Granted, it's a scary laugh. The Queen really knows her stuff. You've never been more delighted to hear someone laugh before. Oh, Kelly Calamity, you dullard! And you, Rose. The poor girl looks like she's trying to learn to teleport. What on earth made you think I was good?
What? I mean, Father said you were like an angel who had also become a saint.
The Queen chuckles. There's a hint of wistfulness in her voice. Is that really what he thought of me? She clears her throat. Listen, child. He didn't know any better. I'm a villain, and I've been a villain since before you were born.
Really?
Is it really not obvious? Everyone in the kingdom thinks I'm an awful witch. Surely you know that.
I guess I thought they were giving you too much credit because of the circumstances.
She covers her mouth with her hands. I see. I suppose I wouldn't expect any more from someone like you.
I mean, I guess I do see it, looking at things now. So you treated me the way you did just because you hated me?
She's being casual about it, but you can tell she's feeling vulnerable. You guess one might toward the person who raised him for so many years, even if the relationship was like that. Yes. I hated you for being so good. I'm not promising anything, but you can stay a while. If you prove to me that you're more than a daydreaming do-nothing, maybe we can have a more productive relationship. She's not saying much, but it seems to be all that Rose needed. Her usual cutesy smile is back. It seems like that's just what her face does when she smiles.
Of course I will. You won't be disappointed, Mother.
Lady Maysard looks at you like she's looking at the camera on a sitcom. And she sighs. I suppose we have some business to discuss. Leave us for a while, Kelly Calamity. We'll talk again later. As you wish, my queen. See you later, my loyal serf. Hey! What? I'm just taking what you say at face value. Now scram. Lady Maysard and Rose talked for a while. You weren't spying, of course. You just happened to catch glimpses of them by walking by. A lot. Now Rose is gone, finally. Hello, Kelly Calamity. I assume you had a fruitful break from talking to me and didn't spend your time pacing back and forth in front of the VIP area entrance? That's about right, she smirks. How did it go with Rose? What did you talk about? I see you didn't interpret me telling you to scram as a sign that I didn't want to divulge that information. It's like an art, the way you twist things to mean what you want them to mean in your head. Well, regarding Rose, I had to make sure her story held water. It's quite unlikely, don't you think, that both of us thought the other was good? But it seems that's exactly what happens. I blame my late husband in no small part. He had quite the knack for seeing good, even when it didn't exist. I'm not sure if he ever even dated anyone who shared his values, and he had no idea. I don't know why I trusted his judgment about his daughter. I guess I was still green. I guess love makes you blind. Ugh. You said it. I don't want to fall into that trap again. Moving on. I hear you already met Rose yesterday. Uh-oh. I did, but I couldn't get much out of her then. I thought a full report of her motives and actions would serve you best, so I waited until I could give you one. Not bad for a greenhorn like you. In any case, the service you provided for me isn't insignificant. Well done, Kelly Calamity. What was Rose like as a child? I guess she's a natural at pretending to be a good girl.
I suppose.
I suppose so. I had to look after her from when she was around 5 years old or so. She cried a lot at first. It was irritating, and nothing could be done about it. She'd lost both of her parents, so she wasn't going to stop before she decided to stop herself, before she decided to stop wallowing. That's what kids are like. They don't know how to hide their emotions. Lady Maysard raises her eyebrows. I'm not sure that was true of her, based on recent revelations. Oh, I guess you're right. Nevertheless, at a certain point she turned around and became unbearably chipper. And although I did my best to keep her at arm's length, she would always find new ways to pester me. Remind me to have a talk about boundaries with her later, villain to villain. You mentioned that you stopped Rose from learning about governance and martial arts. Did you have her study anything else growing up? Oh, of course. She was taught the things that princesses are usually taught. Embroidery, singing, court manners. How to talk sweetly, how to move gracefully, how to be as demure as possible. All things designed to make people into pretty complacent ornaments and nothing else. If nothing else, I have to commend her for going through that and still becoming as willful as she is. I can't believe princesses have really taught stuff like that. I thought it was just a movie trope. I don't personally approve of it, to be honest. The reason Rose got that education is that I wanted to keep her powerless and harmless. Manners are all well and useful, but you need to have knowledge and agency along with them or you get nowhere. That girl will have a lot of studying to do once we get home. Goodbye. The conference is coming to an end. People with stalls are trying to pick up, maybe offering some last-minute sales. It's time to go home, but there's still one thing you must do, must make sure of. You head towards the VIP area. Ah, Kelly Calamity, I was expecting you. She's swirling wine in a glass, obviously not about to rush out while people are lining up for the cloakroom and the portals. Sit down, sit down. You feel weirdly nervous, even though you spent a lot of time sitting here with her during these 4 days. You sit down. Have you enjoyed your first villain conference, Kelly Calamity? I have, thanks to you, my queen. You wink, hoping it looks smooth and not like a twitch. Oh, you sycophant. Hush, you love it. Do I? What are you planning on doing after the conference? I haven't decided yet. I go where the wind takes me. I didn't take you for such a bohemian. Well, I am. What about you, Lady Maysard? What are you doing next? Oh, I don't know. Some light conquering, maybe some pillaging. I have to test Rose's abilities as a villain after all, so why not start on the next step for my kingdom now? I was going to ask if you'd like to join me, but maybe you'll be too busy bothering with the wind? Wandering with the wind? Oh, I'm sure I can fit in my demigod work along with conquest. Good. She smiles like a cat playing with a mouse. She knows that she's going to get it in the end, but the chase is half the point. I've decided to start conquering, but I haven't decided where to hit first. I don't usually do things like this, but it makes almost no difference where I start, so I'm leaving it up to chance. Would you act as my dice, Skelly Calamity? In what direction should I start my conquest? What about my heart? Oh. But I've been on that road for quite a while already, haven't I? Lady Lysard. She looks you in the eyes. There's the x-ray again.
Call me Imperia.
She kisses you before you can comply. Not sure how long it lasts. There's no space for conscious thought or breathing. You head straight to Lusitania after the conference. Worldly possessions be damned. You can go get them later. And you head to war almost immediately after that. It's like a tall dam around Lusitania has broken, and the water is devastating neighboring countries. When you're not standing next to Imperia on the warpath, you're, well, in all kinds of positions next to her. In all kinds of places. Mostly your bedroom. You can tell that eventually she's going to set some boundaries, but for now you're savoring every chance to be a clingy little bastard. She hasn't complained, or rather, she has, but you can tell when she means it and when she doesn't. Alright, so that's the end of that. Thank you for joining me on, Imperia's route. So next up, we only have one last character to romance, and that would be Satan himself. So be prepared. You might be going to hell. Dun, dun, dun. I'm sorry for the shitty joke. So if you if enjoyed the series so far, if you enjoyed the videos, if you enjoy the game, what have you, feel free to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I will see you next time in the next video. Goodbye.